All right, so I'm not going to show you the entire crab cake recipe. It's a pretty long process, but I am condensing this just for this video. I'm Pain Freak, your freak chef, private culinary pain toy. And I just got done sauteing some onion, butter, cayenne pepper, and I'm going to start forming the crab cake. Just a little tip that I like to do is I like to make this a few hours ahead of time before I actually make the cakes, and keep the mixture once I get it all set up in one bowl or something in the fridge at least for about an hour, sometimes up to 2, just to get everything kind of more solid. It makes it easier to form a cake and bread it and then drop it in the pan. So that's the step I'm doing now. I've already sauteed the onion, the cayenne pepper, and all that. So the next step is we're going to open up our crab meat and start getting that into our bowl here. Now, as landlocked as we are, it's hard to find fresh crab, which I don't mind doing, which I would typically start deshelling crab meat a day before, because it's a bit of a process. But when you're landlocked, like Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, whatever, and you don't have access to fresh crab all the time, then you do need to resort to canned crab, and as long as it's real crab, that's fine. So I don't mind much on that. You just got to drain the juice and you start putting it in your bowl. Most cans of crab, they'll have like some wax paper or something in there that make it easier to separate the crab out of the can, and it comes right out. But I do want to make sure I drain all the juices out, because there's already enough liquid in there between the ingredients that we're going to add and all that. We don't want it to liquidy. But okay, let's set a piece of paper on top so that it keeps the crab from coming out when you're draining the water out of it. And I have 3 cans. I think I'm probably going to be only using 2 because I'm just serving 3 people. So, yeah. So I'll get the rest of this stuff in. All right. So we're going to start with 2 cans just for now, just to see how it looks. We can always add a 3rd can. We have plenty. That's in the bowl. We need 2 tablespoons of... you could use Dijon or Creole mustard, either way. Creole mustard is pretty good. I wouldn't use like a yellow mustard at all, but this works pretty well. I use Dijon for this, and about 2 tablespoons. You just got to eyeball it. So that's maybe 1. That's 2. I need a 1/4 cup of green onion that I already pre-chopped before, so it's all ready to go because I'm going to be using a lot of this throughout the day. And I just need the green parts only. And about a 1/4 cup. Again, use your eyeballs if you want. It doesn't always have to be extremely perfect. So you need really big chunks in there. Just get in there and break them up sometimes. Looks like it's about a 1/4 cup. So there we go. Nice fresh green onion. And I'll save some for garnish. All right, next it's asking for a cup of breadcrumbs. I'll sometimes go a little less, but then I'll just put some in to start, maybe about 1/2 cup, and we'll see how it works. Because depending on what kind of crab you use, it's kind of hit and miss with the breadcrumbs. You don't want it too much of a filler in there. 3 egg whites, which if you watch the video on how I separated those in another video, just check out my separating egg whites video. At this point, we just got to mix it all up. And just like when doing a meatball, if you ever watch my meatball recipe video, you want to make sure that, you know, the consistency and the texture is great. But if you add too many breadcrumbs, it gets really dry and it falls apart. The eggs and all that act as a binder. Here we go. That's our crab cake mixture. That's what I like. When it's hard to get off the spoon, that's when you know it's really good to go. When it sticks to the spoon like that, that's when you know it's really ready to go, and you got a good mix in there. And it is perfect. Just the right consistency. And since we're only putting it in the fridge for maybe about an hour, I'm going to keep it in the metal bowl. If I'm going to hold this for any more than 6 hours, or maybe you can make this ahead of time, up to 24 hours, I will move it into a plastic container because you don't want the metal giving it that weird flavor that happens when you refrigerate stuff in a pan or in a metal bowl. So that's the first step of crab cakes, and next is just a matter of forming them. breading them, cooking them, and then giving them a little bake in the oven. So stick around for the next video and check out my website for other stuff. Subscribe to my YouTube for the free Sunday supper stuff. Check out my website, painfreakofficial.com. Follow me and subscribe on all my Patreon and other platforms to follow more exclusive content. Love you guys. Thanks for your support.